culture being a very rich culture, that we're lucky we still follow our Nisga'a traditions that were set, sent down or passed down from our ancestors. They called it Nisga'a, because what they learned was from Kamsam. They call him Chickster because he can transform himself into anything. And he was the one that helped the Nisga'a people so that we learned how to do the ullakingrees, all the fish that we prepare, all the foods that we eat. And then the ancestors passed it down to our parents, and our parents passed it down to us. So it's going to be our job to pass it down to our children and our grandchildren so that it stays alive forever and ever. One of the things I always heard the elders say about our culture and our language, they go hand in hand. One without the other will not survive. Granddaughter, she's starting to teach my newest granddaughter Nisga'a songs. She visits her sometimes and then she starts singing to her. So I think that's really good. The other thing is for young parents that have babies now, they need to start learning our language so that it doesn't get lost. Yeah. Because it's I know my dad put a lot of work into the dictionary, the words that went into the dictionary. He provided 5,000 words. I have all his work that he did with that. And we have a language and culture department that has been going through a lot of changes. So it's important that we keep our language alive so that our culture stays alive. Otherwise we'll be just like the phsa, the white men. When there's a feast, we won't have feasts anymore, we won't have tribes anymore if we don't keep the culture and our language alive. Yeah. Because of that, it's important we pass all this information down to the younger children and they can pass it on to their children. That is my main concern about our language, is for all of the people to start using it every day, because that's what our parents did for us, so it made it easier for us to learn how to read and write it. We were able to understand most of what was said to us, and if we didn't, I would ask somebody who knows about it and ask them what this meant if I heard it in a feast.
What do you think of our dances, the use of our drums?
The dancing group, what I was hoping would happen was when the original dancers started, they had the opening from darkness to light, because that's what happened with the Nisga'a. We have a story about that. So we were in darkness for a while because there's a village downriver that was called Nisga'a, and I would like to see that part come back into the dance group. And I missed the phsa this past, I watched other villages, but I missed the Ian's performances. So what I heard, it was really awesome with the young directors that are training right now. It would be nice to see how much of the original dancing that would come back, because it was really awesome. The opening part, when I first seen it a long time ago, when my dad was part of it, he did the opening scene, and the Nisga's were all praying to the gods to get, so that it would be light again in the village. And when he did that part, the first time I seen it is when I came back from school in grade 8, and I was sitting up in the balcony in the old hall, and I had a big lump in my throat, and I was teary-eyed because it was so real. And then they had a little boy that would say, yeah, that was I. And then he would he had a blanket that was made specially for it, ripped his blanket in half, and then everybody started dancing. It was really emotional, really, I can't think of the word to use.
Heartwarming?
Yeah, you could feel it through your whole being type of thing. And that's what I always feel when I hear drums too.
What do you think of the songs that we do?
I've seen, the only ones I remember were the ones that were done with the original dance group. The one that really makes me feel good about the dancing, even though I don't participate, is that when they sing that Sianne Lincoln, that's really powerful. It just makes you think of all the ancestors that have passed on. And then I always think of how proud they would be whenever they hear that song, because people just stand up and then the elders, the chieftains that are coming in, they nod, turn this way, they turn that way, nodding to the people. And that's how it's supposed to be done. And just to hear that all the time makes me feel proud that I'm on
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.